Welcome to Madrid Pulse, your go-to hub for everything Real Madrid. In today's update, we dive deep into the futures of Gonzalo Garcia Torres and Endrick Felipe. Will one of them leave on loan? How does Endrick's injury change Real Madrid's plans? And what role could Rodrigo play in all this? Stick around as we break down the latest squad decisions shaping Xabi Alonso's first season in charge. Let's get into it. Real Madrid appear increasingly likely to retain Gonzalo Garcia Torres as a backup forward option for the upcoming season, offering cover for both Vinicius Jr. and newly signed superstar Kylian Mbappe. However, the situation remains somewhat unclear when it comes to fellow young forward Endrick Felipe. While early indications suggested that one of the two would be sent out on loan to gain experience, it now appears that both may remain in Madrid for the 2025-26 campaign, creating new speculation about how the squad will be managed, especially in light of the vacant number 9 shirt. Initially, the plan seemed to revolve around a choice, Garcia or Endrick. With both players still in the early stages of their senior careers, Real Madrid were believed to be considering loaning one of them out to ensure regular playing time and continued development. Getafe, a club known for its strong relationship with Real Madrid, had positioned themselves as potential suitors for Garcia. Reports indicated that Getafe are prepared to wait until the very end of the summer transfer window in hopes of securing a deal if Los Blancos decide that Garcia is the more expendable option. For Endrick, meanwhile, the original plan had been slightly more ambitious. According to information from Cadena Cope, Real Madrid had come to a near-complete agreement with Real Sociedad to send the Brazilian out on loan. The move was reportedly orchestrated during the Club World Cup in July and would have given Endrick the chance to develop his game further in La Liga, gaining valuable minutes in a competitive environment. Everything was apparently in place, with the 19-year-old just days away from making the switch to San Sebastian. However, just before Real Madrid's semi-final clash with Paris Saint-Germain in that same Club World Cup, Endrick suffered a setback in the form of a hamstring injury. This relapse not only ruled him out of the key match, but also caused the Real Sociedad deal to fall through. With his fitness in question, the loan agreement was shelved, and Endrick was forced to shift his focus toward recovery. Current projections suggest that he is targeting a return to action by late September or early October, though this timeline could shift depending on how well his rehabilitation progresses. The injury threw Real Madrid's plans into disarray. With Endrick sidelined for the start of the season, the club must now reassess whether it makes sense to let Gonzalo Garcia Torres leave on loan. While there was initially some belief that Garcia could benefit from a temporary move elsewhere, especially to a side like Getafe, where he would likely receive consistent minutes, the injury to Endrick has complicated matters. Xabi Alonso, who is heading into his first season as manager of Real Madrid, reportedly sees Garcia as a useful piece in his attacking arsenal and may be unwilling to part with him until there is more clarity around Endrick's recovery and Rodrigo's status. Adding further complexity is the role of Rodrigo Goes. If Rodrigo is retained and remains part of the attacking rotation, he could cover for both the left and right flanks, potentially reducing the immediate need for Garcia or Endrick to contribute heavily. However, if Rodrigo is sold before the close of the window, a possibility that has been floated due to Real Madrid's need to balance the squad, then both young forwards could be needed as reinforcements, especially during the early months of the campaign. In light of this evolving situation, Real Madrid's coaching staff and sporting directors must weigh their options carefully. Letting Garcia leave on loan would open up more opportunities for Endrick once fit, but would leave the squad short-handed in the meantime. Keeping both players might limit their development in the short term, but could be vital in navigating the congested calendar that awaits Los Blancos. With the transfer deadline looming and the season fast approaching, Real Madrid are facing a tricky balancing act, one that could shape the trajectory of two of their most promising young attackers. Real Madrid's preseason preparations for the 2025-26 campaign are gaining momentum, with players returning to training and manager Xabi Alonso shaping his squad for the upcoming season. One of the most significant developments from the training ground is the return of David Alaba, the veteran Austrian defender who has struggled with injuries in recent years. Alaba's presence on the training pitch is a sight the club and fans have longed to see, especially after his extended spell on the sidelines last season. The 32-year-old's recovery and participation in full training come as a major boost to the Madrid camp, particularly as the team looks to enter the new season in top physical and mental shape. Alaba's fitness issues have been a concern for both the coaching staff and the management. Last season, he was only able to manage around 600 minutes of game time due to a series of setbacks, raising doubts about his long-term future at the club. Many believe that his time at the Santiago Bernabeu might be drawing to a close, especially with Real Madrid gradually focusing on a younger core for the future. The likes of Eder Militao, Antonio Rudiger, and the newly promoted youngsters have all made their mark, further intensifying competition in the defensive line. But Alaba's return to fitness could now shift that dynamic. Spanish journalist Alberto Pereiro reported that Alaba participated in the full training session without any signs of pain or physical discomfort. Notably, the Austrian international did not wear any support bandages or protective gear, which is typically used during the recovery phase. This is a clear indication that he is back to full fitness and ready to compete at the highest level again. The timing of this recovery couldn't be better for the player, who is well aware that this could be a pivotal season in determining his future at the club. Despite his injuries, Alaba remains a valuable figure within the squad, not only due to his experience and defensive quality, but also because of his leadership in the dressing room. He is respected by teammates and coaches alike, and is considered one of the emotional pillars of the team. His presence has often served as a stabilizing influence during turbulent times, especially when the squad has dealt with injuries, form dips, or high-stakes matches. Under the guidance of Xabi Alonso, who was once his teammate at Bayern Munich, Alaba could experience a resurgence. Alonso understands Alaba's style of play and versatility better than most, having shared the pitch with him during some of the Austrians' formative years. This prior relationship could work in Alaba's favor as he seeks to win back a consistent starting role in what promises to be a highly competitive backline. Alaba's motivation heading into the season is clear. He wants to prove the doubters wrong, silence those who have written him off, and show that he still has plenty to offer at the top level. While Real Madrid's long-term plans may not heavily feature the veteran, his short-term importance cannot be understated. A fit and focused David Alaba can make a significant difference, especially in high-pressure scenarios where experience and composure are crucial. Moreover, his ability to play both as a central defender and a left-back gives Alonso added tactical flexibility. His calmness on the ball, vision, and leadership make him a unique asset in a squad filled with youthful energy and raw potential. If he can stay injury-free and maintain his current physical condition, there's every reason to believe that Alaba could enjoy a renaissance season with the Spanish Giants. In the grand scheme, Real Madrid will be relieved to see such a senior figure returning to action with no issues. As the club gears up for another challenging campaign both domestically and in Europe, having someone of Alaba's caliber and mentality available could be invaluable. Whether as a starter or a mentor from the bench, David Alaba's comeback could be one of the understated but crucial storylines of Real Madrid's 2025-26 season.